Hey guys, this is Brad Blue Nile Farms. Today I want to talk about how to correctly stack a Featherlight stock trailer with 100 bales of hay. How to use every inch of space inside this trailer. And this may apply to other trailers that have similar design, so stay tuned. I also want to point out too, when I load people up, whether they're buying hay from me or I'm moving hay around on my own, I like a set of fork extensions on my tractors or skid steers and the forks, and they're about 72 inches. I pretty much put 10 bales religiously on these, and that's kind of what I choose to haul. It's easy to keep count, and it's easy to get them into the trailer. So I suggest if you ever got a set of forks, get yourself some fork extensions about 72 inches, and you can haul easily 10 of them at a time, even up to 15, but I prefer 10. It just makes it a little easier. So the first thing you need to do is set the bales in the front end, and because the front of a Featherlight trailer and a lot of trailers is kind of cone shaped, you need to kind of make a V with these bales pretty much as tight as you can against the wall. And this is where your first 10 bales will actually be set. All right, so after you do the cone, which is the 10 bales, then you're going to do your first row. You're going to put your shortest bales against each side of the wall, and any long bales would be in the middle here. And that's because we have that cone part and we could fit the extra in there. But there's going to be 20 bales straight up across. We also have to make enough room because I did leave the door, the mid door to the stock trailer is in this trailer. And there's a frame that it's connected to on both sides. So we're going to have to take, again, the smallest bales, put them against the side. And every time we're going across here, we're going to try to keep the string side down on all our bales inside the trailer. But as we move back here, if things get a little tight, we may flip some on the side if we need to. It just seems like it fits better. But those are just little techniques that I'm going to show you as we go. But in the end, we should get 100 bales in this trailer. Just so you can quickly see what I mean, here's a bale that's short up against the frame, and the other one is doing the same. So if you can keep these bales all the way up and inside that frame, it's going to be a lot easier for you to stack. And you can put your longer bales right here in the center. Alright, so right now we're at 50 bales in that trailer. We're at the midpoint. And so that's basically what it should look like with half the trailer. Now with that side door in here, the divider that I left, we're just going to have to squeeze these last groups in, and I'll show you how that's done here in a minute. Alright, so I want to show you guys a real quick secret as far as we're loading back, and we're going to go out 60 bales here. And because I left this divider panel in, I have to really jam these bales in tight, at least initially. So I'm going to show you a technique that I learned when I was a kid on a dairy farm 50 plus years ago, and hopefully you guys can pick up on this. And if you're an experienced hay person, you probably know this already. So it's relatively very simple. All we're going to try to do is jam 2 bales of hay in here real quick. This cat for some reason loves to be in every video that I make, but this is how it works. So you got to grab 2 bales, put one of them on edge here, one bale on edge here, and all you do is try to get them close to the edge where they fall together, and then you press them down, and then they basically push everything apart. So they got to kind of fall in like this. And so right now I'm actually in between both bales. So all you need to now do is just push them down, and they should fit just fine. And that's the secret to locking this in. So once I did that to the first bottom one, that put a lot of pressure on this door. Now, I'm not kidding. This is the easiest thing to do is take this door off. But sometimes it's just more of a pain than it is, because if you use it for hauling horses or cows or pigs or whatever. So I just leave it in. I've never taken it out. But this is how I combat it, by basically jamming these bales in. Now from this standpoint, the stacking is going to get a little interesting. If it gets too tight, I can't do what I just did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start staggering one of them. The last bale is all going to go in on its side. But I can't put it in the same spot, so I have to move it in 3 spots all the way up so I can get 20 in here. And that's the secret. So the bottom two have to be perfect like this with the strings down, and the last three can be alternated, because the problem is I'm fighting this roof and I don't have much play up there. And I learned that makes it easier to get these bales in here and you don't have to fight them so much. All right, so everything's done. So let me show you how we optimize this. So these first two rows are going to be with the strings down and jammed in like I showed you by putting the two halves together and pushing down on them. So what you have here is that I have 3 bales. This bale, and this bale are on their side. And the rest of them are all stringed down. And I filled those in, so I optimized my space to make up for this door. Number 2 is the only thing it does is it kind of push you really tight to the top. But it really is the easiest way to get your bales in. You don't have to fight them. I used to try to do it string down on all of them, and it really became a fight, and we did do it. But it's a lot easier by just turning them. Just got to remember, whatever bale is the lowest, when you get toward the top, that's the one you definitely want to put on its side, and the rest of them go on their, string down. So, but always fill the outside of the bales, this one and these first, then work toward your middle per row. Because what happens is if you got to put a bale on the outside, it's very sometimes hard to get into. But it's a lot easier manipulating when the bales, you're working in the middle too. And that's just my suggestion based on experience of doing this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same exact thing I just did to this row in this row. And this will make us our last row that's going to hold 20. So basically we finished off with 90 bales, and then the last 10 bales I wound up putting in this concoction. So there should be 5 on each side, and that will give you a completely 100 bales in this wagon or trailer. So if a 16-foot stock trailer, you should try to shoot for 100 bales as long as you strategically place them correctly in here. And this is 100 bales every time if you do it right. Try to keep your smaller bales on the inside and give yourself enough room, about 18 inches, so you can put these bales in. And keep your longer bales like for out here for your last end-all stacking. If I have a longer bale, it's easier to fit 2 of them in next to each other than it is trying to jam them down the row. So I hope you gained something from this video. Hopefully it was worthwhile to watch. And guys that are seasoned at stacking trailers, they probably know this already. But if you're brand new and you bought yourself a trailer and you're starting to get hauling your own hay, this is a technique that I hopefully can pass on to you, that you learn something from it, and it'll benefit you in the long run. So one last thing I want to discuss tonight is make sure you have a hay hook to unload this trailer. They're loaded with hay. We jammed them in really tight. It's almost impossible for you to find the strings. That's where the hay hook comes in. You can pull them out a lot easier, and it's not going to be such a struggle. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully somebody gained some knowledge out of this video. And be safe out there, and we'll talk to you guys soon.